Hey there, boils and ghouls. It's your old pal, Gigi Grotesque, the ghoul with the drool. Today, we are back with another Shadows Are Alive video. I'm going to be doing the Garage Escape on the Haunted Mansion map. I'm going to be using the Inventor. I love the Inventor. He's really, really cool. He has probably the second best abilities in the game right now. I think that they are planning on adding another mechanic to the Giggle Bomb in the future. It's yet to be confirmed, but I think it would be really, really cool if they did. And if they do, it'll probably make him very well balanced and rounded out and add for some really cool gameplay in the future. I think the mechanic I'm talking about is having the Giggle Bomb drain their shift's mana. So we're waiting right now for everything to procedurally generate. Now remember, everything here is all in the same place except for what's behind the doors. Look there, you see the fuse box pops up on the right hand side. It shows you a picture of what you're looking for, so you don't have to bumble around in the darkness to find it. And then you have up there on the top left, it shows you what you need to fix or how many of the circuit breakers you need to fix. And then if you forget, you can always come to this farty book here in the middle. Yeah, the book of farts in the middle. And it will tell you what to do as well. So I'm using a green hue on my lantern for this guy just because I don't know. I think it's pretty cool and adds a little ominous thing to it. I want to show off some of the detail here. Look at these dressers. They got these little bat handles on them, and I think they're so cool. Now, you can open up drawers and things like that, right? And find things inside of them in these maps, but sometimes it's too dark to see inside. And that's where the inventor's ability really shines. He has a night vision ability, which I just used here, and he doesn't need to use his lantern for it. And it pretty much lights up the entire map for him without doing all the disadvantages of a lantern. Now I find this fuse box fairly quickly here. The fuse boxes are really easy to do. You click the top lever first and then the bottom switch next. Fuse boxes are always in 3 rooms. They always spawn in the same 3 rooms. Now these rooms of course spawn in different locations. Spawns in the large storage room, the small storage room, and then the mud room. After I hit the fuse box, you can see there on the right hand side the meter goes up about a third of the way. That's because there are 3 fuse boxes. You have to hit the first one and then the second one and the third one. The meter is really good for when you're not using proximity chat and your team can't hear you or you can't hear your team. It's also good for if your proximity chat's super far away and you're not using Discord for a pre-made team, so you can see how much is done. Or even if you're just hiding from the shift and not talking into the microphone. Here I use the alter item ability, and using the alter item ability, now I'm able to see things through the doors of stuff or inside chests, kind of like the lockpicker's ability, only this highlights that item. So if I were to use it and then just leave the room, that item would be highlighted for me pretty much everywhere. I would see it all the way across the map. Now, this room right here, this is the living room. I need this room later. There's going to be an item that spawns in this room, and I need to come back to it, so I have to remember where this is. I guarantee you I won't. That's just me. Coming in here, you remember the Emerald Escape from the previous video. The fire was green, and this one, whenever you are not doing the Emerald Fireplace, it is just looks like a regular fireplace, right? There's nothing that we need in the little girl's room. So if you want to come in here and grab some of the things for the Easter eggs, you can. I'm not doing any of the Easter eggs or triggering any of the jump scares in this one. As you're running, now this is really hard if you've got a shift on your bottom. So you can always just hit the Inventor's #2 ability, which hides their aura for a short amount of time if you're running along. That was what I did going down the hallway, and then now, of course, I'm just using the night vision to check things out. You also have giggle grenades, which was the thing that was laying on the floor, the bright colored thing laying on the floor back there in the kitchen. I accidentally hit the giggle grenade whenever I was using the other abilities, and it drops the grenade on the floor, and it causes the shift to stop for a pause for a short second and laugh. So it's kind of like a getaway. Hopefully there's other mechanics added to that in the future. Here's the second of the three. Again, it's always in the mudroom. So if you're trying to speedrun this, or if you have a really good shift that's always chasing you down and finding you, you know that if you see the large storage room from a distance, you can get in there and get that fuse box. If you walk down a hallway and don't see any of these three, like the large storage room, the small storage room, or the mudroom, that it's not really worth going down there unless if you're looking for the living room. Now, I just came up here just to show you guys that the attic door is always open and unlocked here. So when you open up that door, you'll see the stairs. You don't have to go down that hallway on this escape, because there's nothing whatsoever in the attic. So it might be a good place to like find some fuel or something like that, or maybe if you're exploring for jump scares, you can go there. But the attic is pretty much useless on this escape. So I got all three of those now: the small storage room, the mud room, and the large storage room. And it's telling me to go to the library, but you know me, I like to check all the doors to see what the procedural generation looks like. I'm still studying a lot of how that randomizes. That hole in the floor there is great. Is actually great for looping the shift. Now, this room is probably one of the best rooms to loop the shift in. It looks very small, but trust me, let's say if you're down in the basement over here, grabbing some people out, you can come down here, you can unlock the door, right? And then, boom, you're taking off running from the shift. If the shift is right on you, which they normally are, they normally camp that basement. You can go up here and then to the right. And then if you're smart enough, you can go over the railing and down on top of this bookcase. Now, this is a good hidey spot. If they are still draining your life force or your happiness or whatever, you can use the inventor's ability to mask your aura and take off running. But you have to understand that the shift cannot jump. It just cannot jump. So you can utilize this environment by jumping over the railing and forcing them to double back to go down the stairs. And that's the same thing in the library too, and I'll show you guys some of that. It's really good gameplay. Whenever you're just having a really good battle, somebody should always be working to distract the shift so everybody else can get things done, especially on this escape, because of this right here. So this right here is summoning Enzo Collini's ghost, and you have this nice little pattern here that you got to go around. It's counterclockwise, and you have to wear a mask. So you have to run around this table counterclockwise, or not counterclockwise, excuse me, clockwise. Always clockwise, always clockwise, always clockwise. Never counterclockwise. That's my bad. You can put on the mask. One of these masks are found over here. They've got a unicorn right above my head. They label it as a horse, but it's got a horn, so it's a unicorn to me. Here is a panda mask, and then there's a fox mask over there as well. There's a tiger mask, a samurai's mask, luchador mask, lion's mask, and then, of course, the mama llama mask. Then we just begin running. Now, as you're running, you can shout. If you're using The proximity chat, you can shout into the microphone, Enzo Collini, over and over again, and it will increase the amount of stuff per revolution that happens. So each revolution is 1/3 of the ritual. So you got to go around 3 times. Now this is kind of hard because the shift can come in here and drain you while you're running. They can see you while you're moving, right? And they can really mess with you at this part of the escape. This is actually a really good part of the escape for the shift to take big advantage of the heroes. They can come in, they can drop their bombs on you while you're running, and then you are just down. So they can really clean up here if they tried. Once once the once the ghost of Enzo Collini is summoned, you just walk over, talk to him. You got to click on him to talk to him, and he will send you to find his violin. But I want to show you the rest of this area over here and how well it is for looping the old shifter Rooney. Now I play shift. I play shift a lot. A lot of the people that I play with, they don't like to play the shift. The shift is really fun to me, though. But I do love playing the heroes as well. So I kind of know where my weaknesses are as a shift. Oh, I wasn't paying any attention to my fuel there. So you'll find ladders and you can climb ladders and stuff. This ladder right here, however, that I'm standing by, you can't climb. But if you're quick enough, you can sneak around, loose. You can run up here and use the sneak to get rid of the shift. But there, right there in the middle of that one railing where I just jumped over, is a small lantern on the floor, and its pixels actually help you get over the railing. You see here, I have a little bit of trouble getting over the railing. So you can do it that way, or you can jump over the railing here and get on top of this bookshelf. And then there is also, of course, this cool ladder that you can go up and hide on as well, too. So there are a couple of places here where you can just kind of hide from the shift in this room, or be able to loop the shift in this room. Now, whenever you go over the railing, that's a long, long way for the shift to go back, especially from there. They have to go back all the way around to the stairs, and you could already be out of the room. So they actually have to phase out of existence to be able to move faster to get back down the stairs, and it's just kind of a little bit of a headache for the shift to be able to do all that. Can they? Yes, they can, but it's a little hard. Okay, I got to come in here to the kitchen, and I'm gonna grab some more fuel here. Let's go ahead and get that done. Got our fuel. Just gonna check out this room just to see what it's like. Okay, the master bedroom. Nothing in there. I'm gonna see if there's any more fuel in here, and there we are, right there. More fuel. Again, I'm not triggering all the jump scares on this one. I did that on the Emerald Escape, and if you would like to see all the jump scares and Easter eggs on this map, you can go there and check it out. Okay, we're just going to run around here and head back because we got to go get the violin. And now when we get the violin, we're going to hand it to Enzo Collini, and Enzo is going to play us the song of his people. Yes, the song of his people, the lovely song of the Enzo Collinis. And he's going to give us a secret code. Yeah, it says drink more Ovaltine, I do believe. No, it's actually a secret code for the safe that is hidden in the small storage room. The safe is always in the small storage room. It's always, I'm going to repeat that again, it's always in the small storage room. So just so you know, because I'm telling you guys this because it gets really frustrating whenever you're running around and you forget where things are and the shift is just on your butt. So the best thing to do is just learn where everything's at. Okay, the violin always spawns in the living room. Oh, on that coffee table. It's always in the living room on that coffee table. And if you have the shift on you, it's really It's really difficult because the shift can see the items that you're carrying, they can see your lantern light, and they can see masks that you're wearing. Now, you can be clever like me and clip your items into the wall and walk really slowly so they can't see the items. When you know a shift is around, you can run over to a wall and just put your hand in the wall and it hides that item in the wall. You can flip off your lantern and just be very quiet and let them pass, or you can just keep walking and they can't see you. Or you can be brave like me and just take off running. Those are all the different things that you can do. Now, you just walk up to our guy here. You don't have to click anything. You just walk up to him and it automatically gives it to him. Now, the animation is kind of long on this. The first couple of times I did it, I thought, oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. And I kept clicking and pressing buttons. No, it's a long animation. It takes a little bit of time. And I kind of like that because it gives the shift opportunity to see where things are at or to even capitalize on this room too. So after Enzo Collini starts serenading us with his love song, we have this code for that safe that pops up. Now, I want you to understand, notice how I'm running around this. That code is always facing us the way that it needs to be read. So you're not going to run behind it and read it wrong. This is always the way that it's always going to face you the way that it needs to be entered into the safe. So we had cross something something. Cross club, or not club, but spade. Cross spade, I do believe. And we're just gonna go in here. I remembered where the small storage room is, so I can get to it pretty easy. There's a bookcase right there that kind of hides it. Just come in, interact with it, and you're gonna slide these levers. These levers will turn red whenever you touch them, but trust me, red does not mean no. Red is just that you're interacting with those levers. The sound tells you if you're doing it right or not. So if you click the handle after putting the code in, it'll make a little like jingle sound or something like that. You'll hear like a little music. So you get the crowbar from there and you have to go down into the basement, and this is another place where the shift can capitalize because now you're in its basement. You could turn on all the switches first. You just flip them all down just like this, and then what I always do is I always pull one of the plugs and off to the side. I just set it off to the side here. It just sits there, and then I move the others to where they need to go. Blue to blue, yellow to yellow, green to green, and then eventually orange to orange. Those two lights will light up and the meter will go up, and then it shifts down for you to pull this. All you have to do is click on it to pull it, and ta-da, you're done. So now you have to go to the garage through the library, and you have to do a couple of things there. I always just throw down the crowbar at this point because the shift can see you carrying it, and we no longer need it. I'm gonna grab this candy bar that I seen on the fart book table in the middle, and then I'm just gonna eat this, and I'm gonna take off running. Sugar Rush with the candy bars is super good, and I hope that they add more Sugar Rush items in the future. I don't know what all ones cause Sugar Rush yet. I'm gonna be doing some testing on that, and hopefully we can get a guide. Because Sugar Rush is really good for you to get across the map if you're not the firefighter, or to escape the shift as well if you're not the firefighter. Being able to outrun the shift is kind of cool because his fear drain, or his thing that causes fear, his ability to cause fear, it has a range on it, so you can outrun that range. You can line of sight it through corners, things like that. It's really cool. So this, you just pick up the skull bomb here, and you're throwing it at the targets with Q, and you're trying to fill up that meter there on the right hand side. I hope that they implement a kind of like maybe a better throwing system in the future, something that you can charge up the throw, because the targets at the top are a little harder to hit. It takes a little bit more concentration. And then after you do all of that, you just come over here. A lot of people I've seen do this, just flip this once, but you have to flip it several times. That meter there on the right-hand side lags out a little bit. So you just flip it a bunch of times until that meter shows up, fills all the way up, and then blows up the door. It would be cool if the exploding the door actually did damage to you or knocked you down, but it doesn't. It tells you to back up, but you don't have to. And that's pretty much it. I did that one pretty quick. Again, I didn't go through all the scares. I didn't go through all the different Easter eggs or anything like that. So I just basically stuck to showing you guys what to find. Big thing is remembering where the items are so you can escape quicker. Other than that, there's not much to this escape. It's just really fun, especially whenever you're playing 1v4. And that's all I have. So until the next video, I hope you all are able to escape the shift.